Indian farmers talk about the weather constantly, especially when change seems distant. The monsoons may arrive gently like a deer before roaring like an elephant, or they might start as a mighty elephant and fade into a quiet deer. Sometimes they remain unpredictable and erratic throughout. Ahmednagar, nestled in the rain shadow zone of the Western Ghats, was once a land plagued by severe drought and water scarcity. The district, divided between the upper Godavari basin and the Bhima River basin, endured harsh climatic conditions characterized by scorching heat and minimal rainfall. Monsoon rains skip a large part of several Indian states. Clouds loaded with moist sea air deluged the western side of coastal mountains. When they reach the area of the Deccan basalts, they are mostly wrung out and offer only a drizzle to farmers.
All that area falls in watershed. It's in rain shadow area. When it is rain shadow area, whatever rain we get in Ahmednagar district is very little. It is something like much below 500 mm per year. It will be a blessing if it is 500 mm every year, but it goes to about 200 to 300 mm per year, which hardly allows, is hardly inducive for agriculture.
Ahmednagar has faced a series of droughts over the years, each leaving its mark on the land and its people. But none was severe as the drought of 1972.
Due to poverty, unemployment, people were migrating in large numbers to cities and nearby towns in bricks lanes, in sugarcane field, and so on and so forth.
Water was both the cause of suffering and the only solution to survival. Given the enormity of India's water issues, encouraging single villages to revive and protect their own watersheds can seem a feeble response to a national crisis. Yet, in the midst of this despair, a visionary with a mission emerged, Hermann Bacher, a Jesuit priest who would later be recognized as the father of community-led watershed development in India. His conviction was simple yet revolutionary.
And they always said that goes into floodwaters. So for me, it's not only drought proofing, but catch the eventual floodwaters, infiltrate them, and you have got water forever without any rain. So the floodwaters are part of the drought proofing. That's what we are doing now.
Water was the root of the problem, and it could also be the solution.
त्यांनी विचार केला की जमिनी जर इतकी मोठी असूनही पण जर त्यांचा उपयोग नाही तर त्याचा काय फायदा. त्यांनी त्याबाबत अभ्यास केला. केंद्र या ठिकाणी बदली झाल्यानंतर 150 एकरची शेती डेव्हलप करण्याचं चॅलेंज त्यांच्या पुढे आलं आणि त्यातूनच त्यांना शेतीचं चांगलं महत्त्व किंवा शेती डेव्हलप करण्याचं तत्वज्ञान त्यांना.
His ideas centered around rainwater conservation and groundwater recharge, igniting a movement that would forever change the face of Ahmednagar. When foreign missionary Bacher arrived in Ahmednagar, he faced more than just dry land. He faced deep-seated challenges. There was a lack of trust. Years of hardship had left the people skeptical of promises and wary of change.
ठिकाणी वॉटरशेड करणं अवघड होतं. म्हणून त्या ठिकाणी पहिलं मोटिवेशन करणं सर्वात गरजेचं असल्यामुळं लोकांचा सहभाग वाढवणं गरजेचं होतं. परंतु लोक ऐकायला तयार नव्हते.
There was no money, struggling to meet even their basic needs. The villagers had little to invest in new ideas. There was no funding. Without resources, even the best plans remained just dreams on paper. And then there was the outsider, a foreigner in a land where survival was built on familiarity and tradition. Could Bacher's vision take root in such barren ground?
Unless they own the program as their own, it also will not go through. So how do they own the program? They are poor and they cannot contribute by money. So they have to contribute by their own labor. So once in a week, they have to work on the farm, on the watershed development program, free.
काम सुरू करताना आम्ही दवंडी देत होतो. सगळे लोक सकाळचं एकत्रित यायचे आणि त्याच्यामध्ये आमचे विषय व्हायचे, सगळ्यांची मान्यता मिळायची. त्याप्रमाणे हे काम सुरू झाल्यानंतर आम्ही हप्त्यात 1 दिवस श्रमदान करायचो. श्रमदान करताना नुसतं श्रमदान नाही, कमीत कमी 3 घनमीटर काम आम्ही करायचोच.
Bacher's strategy revolved around an integrated watershed development approach.
So therefore he started various activities like digging wells and bore wells, then also lift irrigations. So series of programs he started, but he realized that all these were only extracting water what is available already. So he realized that there will be a point where water will be no more. So therefore the need for conservation. So with this trial and error basis he came up, he innovated, he pioneered the integrated watershed development program. Today it is known as the Indo-German Watershed Development Program.
He preached the idea that water must be managed from ridge to valley, starting at the hilltops, moving through landscapes and down into the valleys.
The program is very, very simple. That as the rain drop falls on the ground, it should be allowed to wait on the ground. So there should be some obstacles for the water, that it remains there stagnant for some time and it allows the water to percolate in the ground.
ट्रीटमेंटचा एक भाग आहे. तर आपण ही सगळी जमीन आपण बघत आलेलो आहे. ही सगळी बॅरल लँड आहे, म्हणजे एकदम खरपाड आणि एकदम पड जमीन आहे. तर पड जमिनीमध्ये आपण काय केलेलं आहे, वरून खाली येताना वर आपण वेड घेतलेला आहे. वेडच्या नंतर आपण शिशिडी घेतलेली आहे आणि जे छोटे ड्रेनेज आहेत तर त्या ड्रेनेजमध्ये आपण स्टोन गली प्लग, परत लूज बोर्डर.
So wherever it falls, it should be obstructed and allowed to percolate.
Where the rain runs, we make it walk. Where it walks, we make it crawl. Where it crawls, we make it sink into the ground. Villagers began planting trees and grasses, conserving forests, and engaging in soil and water conservation efforts. To fight rural poverty, solutions must come from the people themselves, rooted in their land, their needs, and their survival. In 1989, Bacher's vision took shape with the Indo-German Watershed Development Program, backed by governments, NABARD, and NGOs. It became a movement, turning barren lands into thriving fields. As the land healed, so did the people. Water returned, crops flourished, and hope was no longer a distant dream. The first thing people do when their watershed regenerates and their income rises is take their children out of the fields and send them to school. Children, once forced to abandon education due to financial constraints, now pursue studies and return to contribute to their village's growth. But this transformation was about more than just water. Women, once bound by daily struggles for survival, found new strength. Poverty, though weakened, still cast its shadow. Education had begun to take root, but the journey was far from over. The watershed had revived the land. Now it had to change lives. Hope didn't stop at water. Now these young women from their villages are nurses, breaking barriers, finding new frontiers.
मी नर्सिंग करते नित्यसेवा हॉस्पिटलमध्ये फर्स्ट इयर.
माझे स्वतःचं एक करिअर डेव्हलपमेंट मी स्वतः घडवलेलं आहे. त्यामध्ये मी स्वतः एक BSc नर्सिंग करून BSc नर्सिंगच्या माध्यमातून मी आज स्वतः एक प्राध्यापक आहे.
The impact of watershed development was nothing short of miraculous. The hot, dry landscape transformed into a fertile, thriving region. Water security led to a revival of agriculture. Farmers cultivated wheat, fruits, flowers, and vegetables with improved irrigation and modern farming techniques. Once struggling to survive, these farmers have now reaped a bountiful harvest.
सर्व मिळून ना ते आपण 5-5.5-6 लाखापर्यंत करतो सारं, आणि सारं थोडं आहे ना आपल्याला.
ह्या आम्हाला सोशल सेंटरच्या माध्यमातून त्यांनी आम्हाला खूप मदत केली आणि 16-17 पासून जे माझं उत्पन्न चालू झालं तर आजपर्यंत
मला 20 लाखापर्यंत त्याचं उत्पन्न मिळतं. आणि
Women ventured into small-scale businesses such as shops, beauty parlors, and small hotels, empowering themselves and contributing to the local economy. Local eateries flourished, catering to the increasing demand from a growing and thriving community.
मी माझ्या स्वतःच्या पायावर उभी राहिले किंवा मी एक सक्षम स्त्री झाली, तर मला असं वाटतं की अजून काही महिलांनी जसं मी करते असं माझ्या गटातून अनेक महिलांनी काहीतरी व्यवसाय करावा किंवा काहीतरी त्यांनी त्यांच्या पायावर उभं.
त्यांनी बांगडीचा माल आणला, त्याने आमच्या कुटुंबाला आर्थिक
Livestock farming flourished as fodder became abundant, and dairy farming emerged as a significant source of income. Mornings now began with milking of cattle and trips to cooperative societies, symbolizing a new era of economic stability.
पालन केलं. एकच गाय होती पहिल्या दी, नंतर एकाच्या 2 असं करता करता पूर्ण जवळजवळ 10-12 गाया, बारकाल्या कालवडी अशा होऊन आहे ना आज सध्या मी 80 लिटर दूध डेअरीवर घालायला घेऊन जात आहे.
Father Bacher's dream lives on, carried forward by the social center, the catalyst of transformation. What began as a vision is now owned by the people, no longer just a program, but a way of life. The social center has also contributed to the greater good, especially by empowering girls.
व्हायचे बालविवाह म्हणजे त्यांचं 10 वर्ष जरी मुलगी झाली का लगेच तिचं लग्न करायचे, पण आता कमीत कमी 18 वर्ष 21 वर्ष वयोगट झाल्याशिवाय ते लग्न करत नाहीये.
Water connects everything, and so did the change. Fields flourished, women empowered, education expanded, trust replaced skepticism, and communities took charge of their own future. Ahmednagar's success became more than a story. The social center offers a practical-driven course focusing on natural resource management and sustainable development, ensuring the maximum utilization of available resources.
We learn about balancing environmental conservation along with sustainable development.
Apart from the theory learning, we also have a practical, which we often go out for the field work. We visit different villages.
Through this, Father Bacher's legacy is passed down to a new generation, equipping them with the knowledge and skills to create lasting social change far beyond Ahmednagar. Once a land of despair, now a symbol of hope, the Watershed project was more than a revival. It was a revolution, a bold vision that turned barren fields into lifelines, transforming not just land but lives. Ahmednagar's journey is proof. Water restores, resilience triumphs, and the human spirit prevails.